So June 1st, I'm telling you, man, a lot going on. You need to get your kids out to this one right here. We have Dr. Jnita Prashett with us, a chemist, and she's also with SE4K, Science Exploration for Kids. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. Good morning.
And we have the founder of SE4K, Miss Kyra McCullough here. She is also Miss USA 2017-2018, studied chemistry, radiochemistry at that, and is a former nuclear energy safety specialist. Did I get it right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Boom. Okay, I'm close enough. Okay, she said I'm close enough. We're gonna work with that. All right. So let's talk a little bit about science exploration for kids, because you guys have really cool jackets on. I'm trying to understand why I don't have one right now. So let's start with that.
We got you next time. We got
Okay,
you next time.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Let me know where the store is. I'm in. Okay, so tell us a little bit about SE4K.
Okay, so Science Exploration for Kids is a youth STEAM nonprofit, and STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math. And what we do, we just expose children to the opportunities that come with falling in love with science and math at a young age, so they can fall into these careers and build themselves great lives, and also help out the next generation of engineers and scientists.
Awesome.
And we're really big on trying to change the face of science. Oftentimes when people think about what a scientist does or looks like, they think about somebody that doesn't necessarily have our background. African-American women, we're not normally the picture of science. So we're really trying to show that you too can be a scientist. Someone like you is in these positions, and really encourage them along the way.
So how do people get involved with science exploration for kids? If there's a parent listening and they're like, oh, I would love for my kid to get this exposure, how does that work?
So our website is se4k.com. We have many opportunities for events, and there's a tab for that. We also have opportunities for people to volunteer, and there's a tab for that. And there's also a subscription input as well. So if you want to just send us an email, we are available to respond to you. And just visit se4k.com.
Nice. And now June 1st, this Saturday, you guys have a big event going down right around my campus, man, Howard University. So let's speak, let's speak a little bit about what's happening over at the Inclusion Innovation Incubator.
So this is actually our second year hosting our Take Flight event. Our event is going to feature informal learning environments for students to learn about robotics and coding and wet chemistry, and just really engage with us and others and get excited about science. So it's going to be a day-long event where they're going to get to rotate, get their hands wet, get their hands dirty, and really get to feel what it feels like to be a scientist for the day.
Nice. And like, what time does it start? When do we kick
From
off?
11 o'clock to 4 p.m.
Right.
And again, it's at the IN3, the incubator, right over by Howard's campus. So we hopefully will see everybody out there.
Yeah, and for anybody who's looking for like a landmark, if you go right where McDonald's is, the famous McDonald's off of Georgia Avenue, and right on that strip with what's now, I guess, a Potbelly, and I don't know, sports. I don't know who's still there.
Chipotle. Yeah, we've been there many times during our meetings.
I'm like, what's over there now? Okay, yes. So the Inclusion Innovation Incubator, you've probably passed it multiple times, or you've seen it. We want to get everybody out there, bring your young people. What's the age group? What are we looking at?
So the age group we have for the one-day event is 2nd through 7th grade.
Okay.
And during the registration, you'll see the drop-down list for the parent to input or the guardian to input that student's grade level.
Okay.
Yes, and I also want to add a plug for a few of our special guests that are going to be at the event.
Absolutely.
So through SE4K, we have built partnerships with a few professional sports teams, the New York Islanders being one, Los Angeles Clippers. So we have Garrett Temple coming out to support because he also enjoys physics. So we have a sports section that we're going to be doing at the event too, to teach children about the science behind sports. In addition to Garrett Temple coming from the Los Angeles Clippers, he has invited two of his friends, John Wall and Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards. So they're going to come out for a little bit, just share some good words about education and keeping students abreast on that, so they can always have a bright future no matter what area they fall into.
Nice. Is this event free? It's open to the public?
There's a small cost, so it's $7 right now for a ticket, but that is covering all your supplies. That also includes parking. So small cost, but for a day-long event, it's definitely a good investment.
No, absolutely.
And also there's a chance to win raffle prizes. So yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, I think, like you said, when it comes to science, a lot of times Black people, Black women especially, we're not that face. So I love that you guys are working to bring that inclusion in and doing that through exposure.
Absolutely. We definitely keep the hair natural. We definitely make sure that I was actually told when I went to grad school that I had to change my hair.
Really?
Yeah, to work in a lab. So
am I able to ask what grad school you went to so we can go out there?
So
No.
this was one of the schools I was visiting. So I won't put anybody out on blast.
But
yes.
and just, I mean, we're on the radio, so a lot of people may not see that unless you see the video, of course, on kysdc.com. But you have this beautiful hair here.
Thank you.
And I mean, it's a lot of hair.
It's a lot of hair.
So I can understand if you had it like out, but
and shrinkage is real.
in shrinkage,
Okay.
and that's the shrinkage version.
Yes.
So with the shrinkage, there's a lot of hair there.
Yes.
So I can understand maybe pulling it back, but why the completely altering it, or what do you think that's from? Oh, that was
what does a professional? What does a scientist look like? It goes back to what that image is. It's
really
always, if you go to Dr. Google, put in what does a scientist look like? You're going to see a white man with glasses, bald, holding green stuff. Never once will you see a black woman with her natural hair showing out. Wow. So whenever you go into a school and you're the only person that looks like you, their idea of what a professional is not my wash and go.
Right. No, I agree. What was it that made you, both of you, kind of gravitate to chemistry, gravitate to science? Like, when did you know you wanted to do that, or or say I'm going to major in this? And you went all the way up to doctorate level. So, when did you first get interested in it, and how did you continue with it? I'll start with you, Dr.
So
Jnita.
I credit my parents. I am a unicorn in this field in that both my parents were scientists. They met at Alabama A&M in physics. They went on to get masters at Howard for the nuclear engineering, and so they work in the same realm that Kyra works in. And so at a young age, they were taking me to these day camps. They put me in computer camp. They bought me my first microscope. So I was always immersed in science at a young age. And then my 10th grade year, my chemistry teacher, Mr. Stackowitz, he basically kind of put it in my ear, like, look, you can do this. Yeah. And ever since then, I knew that this was something I was going to do.
Wow.
And then there's funding out there to pay for you to go. So that's why I got the doctorate, because it was free. $3.99.
Okay. All right. So we got that free education. That's a good note. And what about you?
So, for me, I actually don't have any scientists in my family. And this is the reason why I started SC4K, because I fell into science and math by happenstance. I actually struggled with math as an adolescent. And I overcame a lot of my fears in the 8th grade because I had a phenomenal math teacher. 11th grade hit, and I had a phenomenal chemistry teacher. So she made science very basic. So when I was able to tutor a lot of my classmates through chemistry, it made me feel good, because I knew at one point I was someone who struggled with a lot of these rudimentary classes. So we have SC4K to inspire children that also struggle with the same things that I struggle with. And we teach children that you don't have to fall into math and science by happenstance. You can grasp this at a young age and be in advanced classes like Jnita. And although you may be an outcast in your family for someone to fall in love with science, we want to give you that opportunity. So I stuck with chemistry since the 11th grade as well. And I took AP chemistry. And then the thing is, though, I had no idea what a chemist did, but I knew I understood what was going on in the classroom. And because of my reasoning of not really knowing everything, we have SC4K to expose children early on to those career opportunities. And luckily for me, undergrad was also free, right? I had a chance to get a PhD in chemistry. I deferred for a year because I was like, you know what? I don't think the lab right now is fitting my personality, and I want to see what else is out there. Okay. So if I could go back and do it again, I would love to get a PhD in chemistry as well, just to have more knowledge behind everything that goes on behind a lot of like organic and inorganic chemistry. But I went on to get a job at the Nuclear Regulatory Commission because of my radiochemistry focus. So either way, I think we both bring amazing disciplines, and we're able to show students that science isn't just, like she said, just that individual with the blonde hair holding something green. Like, no, like representation is everything. There are black women out here, black men, and we want to show students that you may be an outcast, you may be the underdog in your classroom, but that doesn't make you any less viable than anyone else in the classroom. Yeah,
absolutely. And I get what you're saying, like, especially personality wise, like, again, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but when I think scientists too, black, white, or otherwise, I think you're sitting in a lab with a coat and some goggles, and you're sitting there crunching numbers.
Yeah. We really want to kind of show these non-traditional careers. Okay. Everyone thinks, again, you're in the lab.
What can I do? Tell us a little bit about some of the careers.
You can put some music on in the lab, though. You can do a little bit of everything, but sorry, go ahead. There's a lot of careers, You
can get into policy, you can go into teaching, you can start your own cosmetic line, you can actually do outreach like what we're doing. You can, a lot of actual like sports teams actually hire analysts. So while you're not a chemist, you're not in the science, you're on the mathematics side.
Wow.
So they hire people with mathematic degrees to run all the data analytics. So as a scientist or someone in STEM, you can really work in pretty much any field.
Yeah.
There's more things with the engineering basis, so like building these actual prototypes. So having that mechanical engineering background, especially like the civil engineering, just to know how to put a lot of things together. You can go into sales, device sales, especially if you have a great personality and you know how to speak to people. Yeah, so the people go around to the labs selling these devices, and they do very well for themselves.
No, this is cool. I mean, I wish I would have applied myself a little bit more. I could have.
We got you.
I might need
But
to,
you're a music engineer.
Okay, thank you. Come on now.
We like
Way
that.
to spin
Yeah.
it. Way to spin it. I'm with it. I mean, this is STEAM. You add the arts
absolutely.
with it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Hell, I probably need to sign up for the this event again.
You need to come on out.
It's June 1st. You know, I would love to actually. That might be pretty cool. I might catch the front end because I got some stuff with the Mystics happening June 1st as well. But 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. again over at the Inclusive Innovation Incubator. It's right on the campus of Howard, right off of Georgia Avenue, across from where McDonald's is. And for everybody that is looking to sign up, again, this sounds like an awesome opportunity for anybody that has a young person or any young person listening that wants to learn more about science and technology, engineering, arts, math, how it all comes together, man. SE4K is doing that. Let them know again how they can go to the website, get registered, make sure we're all there.
Head to www.se4k.com, hit the Take Flight event, and sign on up.
All right, and that's science exploration for kids.
Yes.
I love it. Well, Dr. Jnita Prashett, thank you.
Thank you.
Kyra McCullough, thank you. Thank you for creating this and building this. I'm really excited to see, what comes out of it. I think to see you all, like I'm looking at you. People need to go watch the video, but to look at you all, I wouldn't think chemistry and science, and that's why I'm really excited to have you guys here, because I think you all will be so influential in so many people's lives. I know you all have already been working with young people, but what do you notice just working with young people and showing them when you do expose them? What do you see like change and growth wise in that?
You see the light bulb go off. You physically can see that aha moment happen.
Yeah.
Where they realize like, oh my gosh, I can do this.
Yeah.
And just that mere encouragement in them lets them know they can do it again.
Yeah.
And so, I teach chemistry as well. So I've seen kids go from this young age and having that one person feed into them where then they now have the confidence to go on beyond that. So, we're hitting a small group of kids now, but these 50, 60, however many kids show up, they're going to go out and change the world just from this one event.
Yeah.
Right. And then, as you know, spending a year as Miss USA, I was able to receive a lot of letters and just messages through Instagram. So I still today get messages from students and even elementary school kids just saying, one, thank you for showing me that science is cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for spreading your love for science with everyone. And, and thank you for wearing your hair natural as well, like on stage. So you see the appreciation from students that know that they look like you.
Yeah.
And they feel good that someone's feeding into them, like Jnita said.
Absolutely.
That mirrors who they are.
Yeah. Well, keep doing it. Again, speaking of following social media and whatnot, can we follow? Are you guys on? Is Science Exploration for Kids on the socials too?
Right. Yes, it is. So for Science Exploration for Kids is the full name, Science Exploration FOR Kids.
There we go.
Yes. And then my personal Instagram, if you care, it's at Real Kyra McCullough. My first name is spelled weird. It's Kara. Last name is really long. McCullough, MCCULLOUGH.
And what about you, Dr. Jnita?
And I'm at Dr. J, so DRJAY 83.
Thank you guys so much for being
so
here.
much.
And we'll see you all June 1st at the Inclusion Innovation Incubator. All right, there it is. This concludes our Kids in the Community Public Affairs Show. Angie Ange on your mic. We are gone.